Hi everyone, this is Ma Kristen, and I just want to reach out to you and, talk a little bit more with you about some of the issues that were raised yesterday, put on the table about maybe not feeling like you're getting everything that you should be getting out of that course. I just kind of feel like maybe we didn't resolve that before we ended and we ran out of time. Well, here I am, once again, extending my time to you over and beyond just that classroom situation. So I don't want to defend what I've given or what I haven't given. I do want to explain to you that I give to you what is commissioned through me to give to you. When I sit down at my altar and I open up to my temple gates, there are certain things imparted to me to share with you. Now, the other side of that equation is there's the external aspect, and that's the gift of what you're reflecting back to me that needs to be taken into consideration. And that's what we're talking about. This is just another example of the activity of the great and all-powerful Ma'at in the heart. Now, the heart sometimes is associated with the cross, and the cross, the original cross being something that had this circle with the dot in the middle that's representing, of course, there's the one in which there are two, out of which comes many, and then it has the the vertical line, which represents the connection between the seen and, the unseen and the seen, the heavens and the worlds of form. And then it has the horizontal line that represents the equal and opposite conditions, the duality through which we exist, in which we are trying to find in that circle the balance. So all these symbols should be coming up to you perhaps as you're meditating, either internally or externally. And of course, as they come up in me, I am absolutely so happy to share them with you. So maybe that's something that you're talking about that's helpful. Let's see, what did I want to talk to you about here? So I guess, to just kind of put a cap on that in terms of what I'm giving and what I'm receiving, this is how we build together. That is again the balance between the individual and the collective self that's going on. So I appreciate that, and I just want to share that with you. As for the materials given, I want to apologize. I did not know that you weren't getting pictures, or even that the pictures you weren't getting were that important to you. So this is a reflection on both of our ends again, that I guess points to a need to address our communications. So had I known that, I would have been happy to react on that. And maybe if you would have known that it was important enough to mention, you would have mentioned it. But at any case, it's up on the surface now, and so we're dealing with it. I don't exactly know how to get these documents to them in their form. I have them in a Word format, and I can deliver them to you through PDF. I don't know if that will help. I should be delivering them on the PDF format anyway, I guess, so you can't monitor them, but then again, in a classroom situation, you might want to add notes to them. So I don't know. I put them on the board so that you could take them off and you could do what you wanted to do with them. If anybody knows or is willing to come over here maybe and spend time or talk to me on the phone, and we can go back and forth between transmitting these documents from my computer to yours to find out what needs to be done to solve this problem of not getting pictures in the documents that are there, I'm happy to do it. You did see pictures in class, though, of everything, of every one of the chakra gates and the deities or the Netaru that reside within those temple gates. From a Sar all the way down to a Set, including Dahuti. I remember the day I showed the picture of Dahuti, and we talked about his beak extending from the center of his two eyes, and that represented the first eye. Maybe you remember that, And I talked about how they chose that bird perhaps because that beak is the way this bird dips down into the sand, into the mud, and retrieves the bugs and the worms and things that it eats. And so does your gateway to the first eye. Dip down into the flesh, all the way down into your solar plexus, your sacrum, and your root, in order to collect and feed off of the information stored there in your NIS system. So whatever is going on with you in that point, the first eye has the power to dip into it, the same mud that the lotus comes up from, the abyss. The first eye has the ability to dip down into that and extract from there everything that is needed to help you in your ultimate transformation. At the same time, this first eye is the gateway to the infinitely expansive wisdom, which is more than just knowledge, and it is more than knowledge that you are receiving through your five senses. So this is not about pictures anymore. This is not about things that you read anymore. This is not about what I'm saying to you or showing you anymore, even in this very video. This is about stilling yourself so that you have the intercourse into this domain of the first eye, so this transformation can begin. And notice we are making the figure 8 as we do this process within. And yes, Emily, you can very well sense an empty womb in this area until this vibration from Ma'at stimulates. And this requires the love that drives the dedication to sit down and go within on a regular basis. The love that drives the dedication of sacrifice, self-sacrifice, that vibrates in the gate of Jauti and causes him to ejaculate the Amrita that fills the human flesh form and transforms it. So this is something that you just have to sit down with. And as this happens, as this Amrita fills the form for transformation, what happens is Ma'at is impregnated and she gives birth to your Sikher, which is your Christ consciousness or Krishna consciousness, is your self-realized, self-actualized, divine self operating and living through your earthen vessel. And of course, that comes in stages most often. We hear about stories where it just happens like that, and I'm not discounting that. That can happen. But if it's happening to you in stages, then allow yourself to fall back into the heart with appreciation and love and dedication for the sacrifice to go into the intercourse within your Ma'at, with your Jauti, to continue the process of bringing forth this self-realized state, your Sikher. So I hope that kind of helps you with the pictures of what's going on here, and to understand that because this course, this basic segment is ending soon, and that you have not realized a fullness or a birthing at this point yet, it doesn't mean that you won't, and that you haven't gotten the tools in order to do it. You just have to do it. And now for Chi, I wanted to just address what you were saying, in that you mentioned something about I am a master. That's what rings out to me. I was a master of this material, and I should have a particular schedule that, to present to you. And there, I want to kind of join that together with Will's point about the European mind and the African mind. And one of the things that I learned when I was attending the Thai Institute is that indigenous people do have a very different way of presenting things, and that nothing is written down. There was a point when I got into the mastery aspect of learning the Thai massage and healing arts. We weren't allowed to take notes, let alone have a schedule or any materials to work from. This woman, this master, sat in front of us and gave to us what was given to us. Much of it was interactive. Much of it, for me, was not understood until a later time, because my ego raises up. And this is a human condition. It happens. So I'm going to tell you that it's the same thing for me. Because this course was progressive, and because it dealt with particular personalities, with particular positions on their particular paths, I had to stay at that altar and allow myself to just be obedient and present to you what was given to me to present to you. I am not proclaiming myself to be a master. I am not proclaiming titles, anything other than I am a dedicated servant, a dedicated servant, bringing to you the service that I'm commissioned to bring to you. And I hope that that is in some way fulfilling, that it answers to your needs, and that it does start the facilitation that allows for this growth and evolution within you to take place. So I hope that kind of makes some sense to you. I don't think there's anything else. I do want to say there's a couple other videos that I'm posting that I think are important for you to consider. I hope you will look at them. I know only a few of you are actually looking at these videos, or I don't know if you're actually looking at all of them. I hope that you are. I hope that you will call each other, text each other, talk to each other on the boards, wherever you see each other, on Wednesday night meditations, whenever. And do something with this information. Exchange it. Talk about it. Contemplate. Talk about. Realize. These are the steps of study as it's given through the Shatout. You gather the information and you take it in. You contemplate. You take it now to your place of stillness and you meditate. You communicate, you exchange, and then you ritualize it. That means you put it to play in life, and you notice things that are going on around you and how it correlates to what's going on within you. And this is how the process develops you. This is how the process carries you through these multi-dimensional levels of realization, actualization. So there's really nothing to do as you enter up into the abstract, but to do it. So the videos I want to post to you, one is by Astarius Miraculi, and it's really interesting. I resonate with him, but I don't really see him a lot. It doesn't come up for me a lot. But yesterday when I came home, I watched a movie with a friend, and when my friend left, I put on my computer, and he was right there, first thing that came up. So I clicked on it. And I looked at it and I was like, this is perfect, because this is what I've been talking about in this particular time, in this season, in the duad, the underworld or the unworld, in which we feel a little less energetic and we face more challenges and we become more conscious of the things existing within us that are calling out to be transformed. And he talks about this in terms of astrology, which isn't the way that I'm bringing it to you, but it definitely adds another dimension to it, and I think it will help you in digesting and understanding where we're at. So I'm going to ask you to take a look at that video. And then I'm also posting one by Umar Johnson, and he's talking about his vision for education and the education system for our young. He's talking about a tour that he's doing. He's talking about 2 places that he's intending to open up for schools. He's saying a lot of interesting things that kind of collaborates or correlates with the vision that I understand is happening with the Silver Spring Meditation Tribe. So I hope that you'll look at that as well, and maybe we can discuss that. So that's what I have for you. Thank you for listening, and have a beautiful, wonderful day. Ashe.